Okay, so I've opened this second project. This so happened it's Imperial, but that's fine. Let's go to our control tab, go to our next previous project, and transfer project standards. It says, do you want to get it from this drawing file? It's the only one that's there anyway. And you can transfer information from this particular drawing into this one here. So if you set something up, you can bring it across that way. That's one way of doing it. Elevation types, all these sort of things. If you've got fascia settings, all these sort of things that come in here. You can pick and choose, or you can bring the whole lot. All right, war types, if you've got any of those in there, special ones. If I go OK, it'll just run through. There's a little bar here telling us what it's doing. Some things may be already in here, so it'll tell us about that. So override or whatever. So yeah, override. Make a complete mess of it, and should come in here. All right, so 67% down here. So basically, that's what you do with that. So it's one way of bringing some of your standards across into another file. It just gives you some information about what it's been doing, which is fine. Thank you for that. So there you go. In fact, that was a good example because I said overwrite, and in fact it went and changed my wall back to what it should have been, for example, because it, all those colours have gone now. So I brought the standard of the other one into here, so it actually worked. It was quite accidental. Well, it took a minute to actually happen, but it did. All right, so it was a good example then. All right, so there you go. We've done that. So that was under Manage, and that was under Transfer Project Standards. Purge, pretty much like AutoCAD has got a purge command as well. It works much the same way. You can delete stuff or remove stuff from the file to stop it from being too large for no real reason. Stuff that you're not using, basically. Stuff, like it might be families that have been imported in here in case you need them, but at the end of the project you still haven't used them. You might as well purge them out, for example, and then it makes the file a bit smaller. Right? So that's that. So that's where that lives. Just there. You have some structural settings as well that you can look at. So symbolic representations, for example, putting in beams, how far back to make that little gap, that sort of stuff that you played around with the beams last week or on Monday or end last week, some of you, in that exercise 3. Some of those settings can be adjusted here and so on. So this is what's in here, anything of interest, analytical model, boundary condition settings. So yeah, a lot of engineering stuff there. We'll just leave that one. What else? MEP much the same. Panel, yeah, okay. Manage templates, we won't go into here. Edit a template, we won't do that. Additional settings is what we want. So we've got fill patterns, let's have a look at that. So you can create a new one, import a new one if you've got one, or edit one in here. So edit pattern, and you can change it. You can make it like custom. You can make it so it's double. Keep aligned with elements. You can change things around in here with different ones. It does different things. So you can import one as well. So it looks for a PAT file from memory, which is a pattern file. And AutoCAD also uses those files. I dare say it will be the same file format. Okay, so I've never brought one in, but that's where you can do it from. And okay, so let's just close that. Material assets, we won't go in there. Analysis, sheet issue revisions. All right, line styles is important. Right, so under line styles, we'll expand this. And so here it says, okay, so it's got a certain amount of lines that are already defined in here, but you can define your own as well. I've done that before. All right, and you probably want to define your own line especially if your model is likely to be copied and imported in something else. So if you use, if you use, say, if you use that dash there, and you wanted yours to look the same, but you're worried that maybe, they might have changed it in the other project, you can actually, create a new one here and call it your own name, and it still assign the same type. So I'll call it Andreas. So there's Andreas, and whatever that was, you can go in here and find the same one even, and say, okay, that's what it is, but this one's called Andreas. So I found that's helpful sometimes because the other ones conflict with each other. So anyhow, if you do need to do it, that's how you do it, and then that will become available for me to use. Hopefully in here we will have, oh, here it is, yeah. So that's my personal one. Okay, all right, so that's the one I just created, so there it is. All right, so let's go to manage again, and we were in here. So that's the line styles, line weights. Okay, this is what, if you remember back when we're looking at the object styles here, where we said there's a wall and the cut is this, and it's number 1 and a number 4. What do they mean? Well, here they are. There you go, 1 to 16. All right, so basically, I'm in the wrong, sorry. Because I've imported those, I imported the settings from an project that was Imperial. Now my scales are all stuffed up. So I need to just come out of here for a minute and just come into another drawing to show you exactly what I mean about that and make more sense. So let me just open up a new drawing without those things imported in, and we'll do that. Hopefully it'll come up quickly. All right, so there we have it. Let's go straight to manage, and let's go to here, and let's go to line weights. All right, here you go. For 1:100, which is what we're looking at before with the wall, it said, I think 4 was a cut, so it means it's 0.35. All right, but if it was 1:10, a pen 4 goes to 0.7. So it sort of works on a similar, it works on a similar idea to when you photo reduce something on a photocopier. So that same line at 1:500, so it gives it a number 4, all right, number 4. Right? But when say, well, if I was to print the same plan that was 1:100, I said let's do it 1:500, all right. That cut line is still called number 4. It goes to pen number 4. But it knows that if I am 1:500 though, my pen number 4 at 1:500, it will be 0.18 thick. Otherwise, if you used the 0.5, which was originally set for 1:100, it will come out like a crayon. It'll be too thick because the drawing will be so small. So it works on the same idea as when you photo reduce something, everything becomes smaller, right? Including the line width. So, but then when you blow it up to 1:10, that same pen thickness, 4, right? So if I was taking a detail of my floor plan, that wall I had earlier, in one corner, at 1:10, it will still work out. It will come out nice and thick. It will be 0.7. So in relation to everything else, it'll look right. So they worked out this table. You can change it, but generally people don't muck around with it. But this is another thing you can set up in your template or at the beginning of your new big hospital job that you're about to win. All right? So yeah, they're going to a lot of trouble. Perspective weights, so these are different again, and rotation weights as well are constant. There's no scales relating to those. All right. So that's that, and let's just go to line patterns. Have we done that? No. So these are the line patterns we have, and these are pretty cool. If I go to create a new one, okay. So I can say, well, I'll make one, I want a dash first, then I want a space, then I want a dash, and then I think you can put the length of the dash here, like 3 millimeters, for example. I'm not sure about the space. Sorry. You can edit one; it's sort of easier. But all right. So if I go OK, you must have a space after. Okay. All right. So space. Space. Let me put that in. Okay. So then there's Andreas. That's what it looks like. All right. But you can always pick up one and edit it and change it. Maybe give it a different name. All right. So these are really easy to do in here. You can't really do them easily in AutoCAD. But on the other hand, AutoCAD also has complex line types where you can have like letters included within the line type. G for gas, pipe, or something like that. Yeah. So this one doesn't have that. All right. So that's where you can create these things, and then you can use them. All right. So what else have we got? So that was that. Underlay, sun settings. Yeah, you can do all this sort of stuff. Somewhere else here you can set up your sun settings as well, so you can work out if you're in Adelaide or whatever. Alright, so lighting, still, for example, here I can go here and go that we're in Adelaide. So, okay. Still wake up and I can type in Adelaide, maybe. Yes. Okay. Search. Did you mean Adelaide? Yes, I did. All right. So I go OK. So all those settings, and you can do like all the different things there. Time of the day and all that sort of stuff. So we go OK then. What else have we got? Callouts, elevation tags, yeah, arrowheads, yeah, pretty much, the rest are pretty good. All right, so you can, yeah, that's about it. Really, the main ones that out of there that are important. I think we can leave it there. Eventually, we will have another look at some of these over here. Maybe next term, perhaps phases might look at. Design options are good. Managing links, we'll also look at next term. Yeah, so well, for now we did a bit of manage, but there's been more to manage. Okay, so I'll leave it there.